What's going on YouTube? My name is Wayne and I go by the name K-Way Shop. I'm a reseller and I sell on sites like eBay, Poshmark, Mercari, and Facebook Marketplace. And this week I'm going to be bringing you guys another small haul video, another group of shirts that I bought off of Facebook Marketplace. I made a video about these shirts already on my TikTok, but I figure I'd bring an in-depth video about these because I have some really good winners in this lot. Now, like I said, I've already made a video on my TikTok going over the unboxing of this. If you haven't seen that already, feel free to go over to my TikTok and watch that. But all these shirts are all Robert Graham shirts. I purchased these off of Facebook Marketplace from one individual. I paid $370 shipped to my door. So when I purchased this lot, I had the seller send me some photos of some of the Robert Graham shirts that were gonna be in this lot. And by those photos, I determined that this lot was gonna be pretty good. But I really didn't understand how many high-end shirts were in this lot until I opened it and started to list it. So if you've never come across this brand, be on the lookout for these Robert Graham shirts. You can find these at thrift stores. Typically they get priced up because thrift stores know about this brand. But if you can find them really cheap, pick them up because they do really well. Retail, a shirt like this would retail for around $200. All right, so I want to make this video pretty quick. So let's get into some of the duds that I had in this buyout, and then we'll get into the better shirts. So the first shirt we'll talk about is the one I just showed. This shirt is actually a really nice pattern, and it has a quality flip cuff, as you can see right there. Robert Graham shirts are known for these flip cuffs, and that's what makes some of these shirts sell for a better price. But the reason this shirt is a dud is because it actually has some holes in it. As you can see right there in the corner, it has a hole, and also on this sleeve, it has a hole. I don't believe the seller knew this shirt had holes in it. I didn't notice until I was already starting to list it. So this is gonna happen in buyouts. You're gonna get some items that are duds that you're just gonna either have to redonate or throw away. And here's an example of a potential dud. This shirt right here is a Robert Graham X, which is a lower end of the Robert Graham line. But this shirt has a small stain, as you can see right there on the front. So I might be able to get that stain out. If I can't, I'm just gonna have to redonate this because with that stain, it would probably only sell for maybe 10 to 15 bucks. So that was pretty good. There was only two duds, potentially two duds in this buyout, which is perfectly fine by me. Like I said, when you're purchasing these buyouts, there's gonna be some items that are not in the condition that you expect them to be in. That is just part of the game. All right, so let's get into some of the lower end Robert Graham shirts that I picked up in this lot. I have about half of the lot is lower end shirts and the other half is more higher end shirts, so I'm perfectly fine with that. The first shirt we're gonna go over is another Robert Graham X shirt. This one is just a plain pattern shirt, and the cuff isn't really what I would consider a flip cuff. It just has this pattern on the inside. It matches this back tag right here. So this shirt is probably about a $30 to $35 shirt. Nothing too crazy, but by spending $10 per shirt, that's still really good profit. Here is another lower end Robert Graham shirt that probably should sell for right around $30. It has a nice stripe pattern to it, but there's really nothing else going for it. Doesn't have a flip cuff. So again, this shirt probably will sell for right around 35 bucks. Here's another example of our lower end Robert Graham shirt. It had a lot of potential because of that back tag, and the cuff right here has a quality flip cuff, but based off the pattern with these stripes, it shouldn't sell for more than 35 bucks. And here is the last one I'll go over of these lower end Robert Graham shirts. Again, this one had a ton of potential because if you can see, that back collar is going to match the flip cuff right here. So that's an excellent flip cuff, but because of the pattern, I'm thinking this is only gonna sell between 35 and 40 bucks. Now, even with those being lower end sales, it's still gonna be a great profit because I paid $10 a shirt. So that's what's gonna make most of my money back. And then we'll get into these higher end shirts that are gonna really make this deal pop. All right, so this is probably a $40 shirt. It's nothing too crazy, but the reason it's gonna sell is not the pattern, but the pattern on the inside of that collar and on the flip cuff. So this has a nice beach chair / lawn chair pattern to it. And I'm gonna make sure I put that in my title on eBay, and it will cause this to sell a little better. Again, probably like right around 40 bucks. Now here's a shirt you should be looking out for while you're thrifting. This is a Robert Graham jacquard, I believe that's how you pronounce it, print shirt. So as you can see, it has that nice floral pattern all the way through. From far away, it just looks like a purple shirt, but as you get close, that pattern really pops as you hit the light. This is a shirt that many people could wear casually, and that's why they're sought after. This shirt should go anywhere between 60 and 80 bucks. Here's an example of a Robert Graham shirt that not only has a great pattern to it, but also has an excellent flip cuff that complements the shirt. So definitely be on the lookout for these. Because of that pattern, a nice geometric stripe pattern going all the way through, this shirt should sell anywhere between $50 and $60. This Robert Graham shirt should do really well. As you can see from that back tag, it has these gangster slash mobsters, pattern going all the way through it. It also has it on the flip cuff as well. These type of shirts are highly collectible, and because of that, I expect this shirt to go anywhere between $60 and $70. Now, festive Robert Graham shirts also do really well. This is another example of that jacquard print. From far away, it just looks like a plaid shirt, but as you get close, you can see those nutcrackers shining right through. This is a nice festive Christmas shirt, very low key, but these cuffs will definitely make it sell really well. I have this one already listed and it has 3 watchers on it. I expect this one to sell anywhere between $60 and $80. Here's an example of a mid-tier Robert Graham shirt. This one has a nice houndstooth pattern to it and it has an excellent flip cuff. And because of that, I expect this shirt to sell anywhere between $40 and $50. So these next 2 shirts are going to be great examples of Paisley pattern Robert Graham shirts. Paisley is definitely a sought after pattern for these Robert Graham shirts. This one, the Paisley pattern, is kind of hidden, so I don't expect it to sell too high, but it does have it also on the flip cuff as well. And because of this pattern, I expect it to sell anywhere between $40 and $50. And here is a second example of a Paisley pattern, and this one is a little bit better. As you can see, that Paisley pattern really pops, has a nice interior and flip cuff on this one. So because of that, I expect this one to sell anywhere between $50 and $70. So I have about half of these shirts already listed. I've been listing them on my TikTok live. So if you're not following me on TikTok, feel free to head over there and give me a follow. But one of the shirts I listed a few nights ago already sold on Poshmark. Speaking of Paisley patterns, this one was a full Paisley pattern shirt and it sold super fast for $50. And here's another example of a shirt that has already sold for me. I listed this one on eBay for $60 and it already sold for $50. So this one is a simple white shirt. Be on the lookout for these Robert Graham shirts that are solid white, even with a small stripe pattern in it. These do very well. This one also is a flip cuff as well. And because of those 2 things going for it, again, this one sold for $50. Here's another pretty mid-tier Robert Graham shirt. It has a decent color to it, but the reason I'm gonna price it a little bit higher is because of this flip cuff. Really complements the pattern very well. Because of that, this one should sell anywhere between $40 and $50. All right, so now we're gonna be getting into some of the more higher end Robert Graham shirts that I picked up from this buyout, some of which can go for over $100. This, unfortunately, is not an example of one of those shirts, but it does have this very nice geometric pattern going all the way through it, along with a pretty decent flip cuff. As you can see, it's a geometric flip cuff. And because of these 2 things, I expect this shirt to sell anywhere between $50 and $70. Now, this is one of the shirts I wanted to list right away because 4th of July is right around the corner. And as you can see, it has these nice firework pattern going all the way through it. It also has it on that back tag and on the flip cuff. So I actually have 3 watchers on this one already. I believe I listed for $60 or $70. So I believe this shirt will sell for full price just because it is the time of the year for an item like this to sell. All right, so with Robert Graham, if you haven't caught on, the wilder the pattern, the better the item will sell. And as you can see right here, this is an extremely wild pattern. It has a pretty decent flip cuff as well, but the main shirt pattern is what's gonna make this shirt sell. I expect this one to sell anywhere between $70 and $80. Another crazy pattern. This is one of the ones I've already listed, and this one again has 3 watchers on it, and I listed this shirt for $100. The reason being is because of this crazy pattern on the front. Has a decent flip cuff, but because of this amazing pattern on the front, I really expect this to sell around $100. All right, so these next 4 shirts are gonna be my big money makers out of this lot. Like I said, I didn't really know that these shirts were gonna be in here, and I'm so glad they are. So let's get into the first one. This looks like a simple Robert Graham shirt, just a white pattern. It has a really decent flip cuff. And because of those things, you would expect this shirt to sell anywhere between $50 and $70, just like the other white one sold for $50. But the reason this one is going to be well over $100 shirt is because of this back pattern. This nice abstract pattern is really going to pop. I could see somebody going to a wedding and wearing this with a nice jacket over the top, and everybody would be thinking they're wearing a nice white shirt. But as soon as the party dies down or the party starts up, boom, you take that jacket off and you show this shirt, and you will definitely be the life of the party. So like I said, I'm going to shoot really high for this one. I'm thinking right around $150. Now, I only had one short sleeve shirt in this buyout. Everything else was long sleeve. And this one, again, is probably $100 to $150 shirt just based off of this pattern. I got to pull it back so you can see the whole thing. Excellent shirt right here. I tried finding an exact comp for this and I can't find it anywhere. It does have an older tag on it, so it's definitely an older style, which some of these shirts can definitely be sought after because these would be collector's items. So again, I'm gonna list this shirt for $100 to $150 just based off that pattern. The crazier the pattern, the higher price you can get, like I said, and this one has an absolutely crazy pattern. All right, so sometimes with these Robert Graham shirts, it's just subtle touches that'll make the shirt really explode in price. So this just offhand looks like one of those crazy pattern Robert Graham shirts. But as you can see from the bottom of this shirt, it has a scene stitched in the bottom. It looks like a bunch of railroad / iron workers going all the way through it. And I did a small search on eBay for this, and I found an exact sold comp on Terapeak for $100 plus shipping. Now, as you can see, subtle touches. There's a saxophone player on the flip cuff. So you're gonna make sure you add in all these details on your listing. For example, I would put railroad in my listing since it has those railroad workers in it, and the word saxophone because it has that saxophone player right there. So definitely be on the lookout for these type of shirts, and make sure you look the shirt over all the way because these little details are something you can miss that could cause a shirt to go anywhere between $80 all the way up to $150. All right, so when I was on TikTok Live the other night, I was discussing a bunch of these Robert Graham shirts as I was listing them, and I had no clue this next shirt was in this lot until I got to it. One of the things I talked about was Robert Graham 100% silk shirts. They are super hard to come by and they are crazy expensive. To be honest, I don't even know what the retail on these would be, but I'm assuming it's right around $500. So in this lot, I ended up finding a 100% silk Robert Graham shirt. All right, so I'm gonna take a little bit of time to go over this shirt, so make sure you're paying attention. But this is a solid patterned Robert Graham shirt. Nice geometric pattern to it. It is a limited edition. As you can see right there, it says limited edition Robert Graham. That doesn't make it worth a lot of money. What makes it worth a lot of money is that silk, but we'll go over that in just a second. Super nice pattern, nice shimmery pattern to it. And then as you can see from this flip cuff, it's got a nice metallic hit to it. So as you can turn it, or as you turn it, you can see it shimmers. It matches that pattern on the back. But like I said, it's because this shirt is 100% silk, it should go for some crazy money. Let me show you that inside tag. All right, so there is that inside tag. I know it's pretty hard to see on camera, but as you can see right there, it says 100% silk. These shirts are so rare to come by. I'm so glad I had one of these in this lot because I've never actually found one before. So because this shirt is 100% silk, I expect this shirt to sell anywhere between $125 to $200. I'm definitely gonna price it super high with best offer and see what kind of offers come in. I'm gonna make sure I take really nice pictures for this shirt, and hopefully I get somebody that's on the lookout for a 100% silk Robert Graham shirt. So definitely be on the lookout for these buyouts. They're all over the place. Like I said, I've got a bunch of these off of Facebook Marketplace. I found them on Mercari before. You can find them even on eBay. Somebody selling a bunch of their shirts in their eBay store. You can lot them all up into one listing and buy them all for a good price. So be on the lookout. If you don't have inventory in your area, if your thrift stores are bad, online shopping is your best option. So I'm gonna get to listing the rest of these shirts. Like I said, I already got about half listed. I took photos earlier today on a TikTok Live, so all I have to do is upload those photos. If anybody's interested in any of these shirts, they are all size large, so feel free to head over to my eBay store and take a peek at them. What I want you to do is leave it down in the comment section below and let me know what your favorite shirt that I showed today was. And if you like this video, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe. I appreciate you all for being here. Have a great day.